Hello. So this is one of the things that I can show the students when I come in to talk with them the week after next week. Whatever day's coming up, I know it's on my calendar. So this is something called Webflow. And it's a CMS tool that you can use to create and build websites. That takes it outside of the basic, from scratch code. And the reason that this is something that's a tool that we can see all these names use is because creating something from scratch takes a lot of time. And whenever there's a tool like this, so I'm going to create a new project, and then there's free. I do have a paid account, but there are free ones even if you don't have the paid one. And so anybody can sign up for this as long as it bypasses the firewall or whatever the schools have. So I'm going to go ahead and select this one. I'm going to go ahead and select that one. I'm just going to leave it as the default name. And this is actually something that I'm going to be doing with my HTML2 classes coming up later on this semester. So the way this works is you can see it has like a layout. So I'm going to go ahead and do a preview. And you can see this is the layout. It's already got the navigation. It's got some images, the layout, as you can see right there. And then what's nice about this, it also has responsiveness, the responsive design based off your device and orientation. Okay. So I'm going to go put it back on here, and I'm going to turn off the preview thing, and then we're going to make some edits here. So in the nav area, the menu, let's see, double click on that. There we go. Okay, it's got a brand. It's got the nav menu. Go ahead and go to the one in menu items. So I got the menu item of home, right? And on the right hand side, you can it goes over some of the flexing, like the positioning of and how this works. Let's see what else we got here. We can introduce some of the concepts of what a visual of what things like margin and the padding are. So I can change the padding on this to be 10 pixels, and this was to the top of it. And let's see, go ahead and hit escape to let that take in, and you can see how the green, let's see, okay, you see up in the top area, like right here, there's that green, and it shows the padding. And then like I can do the same thing with the margin. Go ahead and leave that at 20 pixels, and then it shows the margin. And if I hover over that, you can see how that blue is showing the margin. So this is that's just one way that this is, that it kind of reinforces like what padding and margin is. And we'll hit Control Z to undo those changes. And some of the other things that you can do here is, let's see, and some of this is just kind of playing with it. I don't always know how to do everything in here. Sometimes I just get like the basics of what I want. And then when I get to that point of frustration, I just export the code, and then I just do it by hand. So you can play with the fonts. You can see exactly, this is called like a visual editor, and you can see how visually the things that you change will impact the website. Okay. And let's see, why didn't that change? I'll try this again. Okay, now it's changing. So it reinforces what they're learning through the code. And let's see, it talks about borders. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. I don't know if there's any grids on here. Let's see. Item overlay, pick description. No. Let's see. So there's a different components, and I'm going to go ahead and open this. Like you can add elements. So there's sections, there's containers, there's the grids, there's columns. Talks about different kind of typography, the CMS tools. Yeah, you can use it for e-commerce, how to embed images and videos, and all of that. And then what you can do afterwards is for the non-paid version, you can actually click on this where it says export code. You can do this for the paid version or the non-paid version. Just the non-paid version is limited on what you can see. So it actually looks at the code. You can actually look at the code. You see the HTML, you see the CSS, you see the JavaScript. Oh, this is freezing up on me. Try this again. Export. HTML, CSS, and I'm not going to test it again because it keeps freezing up on me. But what you can do, you can actually host this for free from Webflow. So what you would do is go to publish and publish your selected domains. And then you would just click on this, go to the URL. Okay, and then there's the website. So right now it says made in Webflow because it was hosted on Webflow. If we just exported the code and, you know, did something other than put it on AWS or somewhere else, it wouldn't say that. But this is like an easy way to create websites and reinforces some of the concepts that they'll learn, you know, with the basic HTML. Let's see. So this is one way that this is one thing that we can do in class together. It's an easy way for students to create a website, you know, get the ideas flowing. And like I said, reinforce and maybe introduce some of the concepts in regards to web development. So that's all for this one.